because we're starting the time skip, which is why we're starting from the home menu. I should probably... There we go. Yeah, I'm sure you do.
In Imperial year 1181, the new Adrestian Emperor, Edelgard von Hresfeld, led a strategic assault against the monastery at Garrick Mach. Though her own losses were great, her foes had no choice but to surrender. Archbishop Rhea commanded the Knights of Seros, leading from the front lines against the Imperial army. After a hard-fought battle, she was forced to retreat to Ferdiad, the capital of Fargus, where she must now plan her next move. With this single attack, the Adrestian Empire officially launched its offensive against the Holy Kingdom of Fargus and the Leicester Alliance. The unification of Fodlan has begun.
So this is basically where any other Fire Emblem would start, huh?
Part 2. Crimson Flower. Ethereal Moon. Beyond Escape. It is Imperial year 1185. Half a decade has passed since Emperor Edelgard ascended the Imperial throne, yet the continent of Fodlan still remains lost in a tempest of turmoil and bloodshed. In the Holy Kingdom of Fargus, King Dimitri has welcomed Archbishop Rhea and her knights, who were driven out of Garrick Mach to the kingdom capital. As they work to build a unified front, the war with the Empire rages on to the west. Meanwhile, Claude, leader of the Alliance, staves off...
Oh yeah, you would probably be defending Garrick Mach, huh?
...between Leicester lords in an effort to feign neutrality. As events unfold, Edelgard and her Black Eagle strike force begin to take action in an attempt to break the war's current state of deadlock.
You. How long do you intend to sleep? Your body is awake. Your eyes must open now, and you must find the strength to stand upon those legs of yours. Like so much rain, a pool of blood has fallen to the ground. As spears and arrows pierce the earth, it weeps. And even now, it weeps. In order to survive, they kill. And so the people of this world are lost in an abyss of suffering. They weep as well. The only one who truly knows the nature of such things is I. Or rather, you. You are a complete and utter fool! Have you not changed one bit? Get on your feet. Right now. I'll coddle you no more. You are just like a child, always needing me to hold your hand.
Hey, are you awake? I'm just a villager here. What are you doing in a place like this? I honestly didn't expect to find someone floating away down the river. Garrick Mach is upstream of here, but that place was abandoned. Huh? You don't know? The Church of Seros isn't there anymore.
Oh, I see. Rhea knocked us
There
unconscious.
have been some folks still living there in the 5 years since... Well, you know. Regardless, the Imperial Army has taken over now.
What year is it?
Are you feeling alright? You didn't hit your head or anything, did you? It's the Ethereal Moon of the year 1185. It's been nearly 5 years since the monastery fell. Tomorrow was supposed to be the Millennium Festival. Who's got time to think about things like that? Yeah, that's what I said. But with the war and the Archbishop still missing home, I doubt there's a soul to be found who has enough blessings worth counting. Hey, slow down, will ya? Where do you think you're going? Are you crazy? The Imperial Army is there. Come on, I promise I won't say you're a coward. Just forget about going anywhere near the monastery. You just remember I tried to stop you. Got it? It's not on my conscience if you wind up dead. Students? You really are crazy, aren't you? There aren't any kids anywhere near that place anymore. Unbelievable.
"5 years ago to the day. If things had continued on as they were, today would have been the Millennium Festival." Halt! Who's there? It can't be. Professor? Is it really you? But I searched everywhere and never found a trace. My teacher. What have you been doing all this time? Where have you been?
Sleeping, apparently.
Joking? At a time like this? You do realize it's been 5 years since you disappeared. Do you have any idea how guilty I felt? How broken my heart was? I searched high and low after you vanished. Although there was no proof, I somehow knew you were alive. All this time, I led everyone as best I could, and fought with all my heart. It's been a difficult path to walk alone. Welcome back, my teacher. I'm so happy that you're safe. 5 years. Such a short time, but it feels like an eternity ago. Do you still feel the way you did all those years ago? You said then that you would fight at my side no matter how many enemies we should amass. As for me, my resolve has not faltered. I'm determined as ever to see this through to the end. I will defeat the false goddess. I will save this world from those creatures and give humanity its freedom back. So, my teacher, are you prepared to stand with me? I thank you. Truly. Now then, I assume you understand the situation at hand, yes? Another joke? Or are you telling the truth? I suppose you must be. In that case, I'll tell you all that has transpired as you slumbered these past 5 years. And that is where we are now. The war is at a stalemate. Dimitri is the new king of Fargus. It's clear that his territory will continue to support the church. Meanwhile, Claude's leadership has thrown the Alliance into chaos. He maintains neutrality in their internal conflict. The situation has created a deadlock. We've been awaiting an opportunity for our squadron to return to the monastery. With you in the fray, I believe the state of the war will shift immediately. The church, as well as the kingdom and the Alliance. The time has come to eliminate them all.
Yeah, this is technically the shortest the war will be.
Rhea, Sedith, the Knights, and the others are in prime condition. They've set up their base within the kingdom capital. The Immaculate One and her family have yet to fight on the front lines. However, we must eventually face and defeat them. It would mean a great deal to have you with us when the time comes. Good. Well then, I believe it's time for a little reunion. The Black Eagle Strike Force never lost faith. They knew you were alive and have been awaiting your return. Let's not keep them waiting any longer.
Each unit has grown over the past 5 years. You should check their classes and weapons. Yaritza will now work together with you.
Well now, that face is certainly familiar. I am glad to see you alive and well, Professor.
Professor! It's me, Bernie! Do you remember me? I can't believe you're here!
I can't believe it. Is this a dream? Can we really be this lucky?
This is not dreaming. Our professor is with us again. Welcome to the back. I mean, welcome back.
Our group isn't the same with...
Do I actually get to learn what Yuritsa's deal is, or does he just not have supports?
It's been so long. Seeing you again fills my heart with hope.
Great. Now everything will be easy. That's great you're safe, Professor. I'm deeply, deeply moved.
Quite the reunion, isn't it, Professor? Everyone's happy to see you.
Come on, Edelgard. You must be happier than all of us combined. She took it really hard when you disappeared, Professor.
Of course, we did our very best in your absence. And there was never a day that we doubted you would return to us.
Edelgard has been leading us as Emperor, but after you disappeared, it became apparent that you were her anchor. It gives me regret to be admitting this, but our power is not enough. The only one who can be meeting Edelgard's expectations is you, Professor.
Most impressive of all is your uncanny ability to bring a smile to everyone's face.
In the years since you vanished, we have not lost anyone from our ranks.
We all longed for your presence and your leadership, myself included.
It seems fitting to view this as a new beginning for the Black Eagle Strike Force. We already have our target.
Older sister?
Yes, we must eliminate the Alliance before moving on to fight the Kingdom and the Church. However, that doesn't necessarily mean we must occupy the entirety of the Alliance. House Rican stands against the Empire. Therefore, our target is Deirdre, the aquatic capital.
We must cross the Aramid River, which separates the Empire and the Alliance. To do that, we must take the largest bridge across it. The Great Bridge of Murden.
Oh yeah, that was mentioned
Murden
before.
connects the monastery and the Imperial capital to the east. It is the shortest route there.
An Alliance stronghold has been built at the Great Bridge. We'll take that and then head north. At the same time, we must defeat the one who defends it, Judith von Daphne. If we can also take control of Daphne territory, it would be greatly beneficial to us. Prepare yourselves. The next battle will be a momentous one. Join me, my friends, as we begin our journey to bring peace and solace to this war-ravaged world.
Alright, we've got a lot of supports that are available now. Curious to know how Bernadetta is doing.
I can't believe how long it's been since I left home. Since I was dragged out of the house, I mean. 5 whole years. It's weird to think about. At first, I remember I was desperate to go back, but now it's the opposite. I have friends here, and I have you. The monastery's become a second home to me. Back then, I never would have dreamed a day like this would come. It's all thanks to you. You've given me a second chance at life. If not for you, I never would have gotten used to leaving my room, let alone the monastery. Maybe the battlefield's just dulled my senses. I'm much better with strangers and new places now, though. I don't panic nearly as much as before. A new place? All on my own? That sounds like a tough assignment. Where did this come from all of a sudden? Hey, hold on. You're teasing me, aren't you? Please don't joke around like that anymore. It's torture for me. You're still not taking me seriously. I mean it. Promise me you won't do that again. Friends respect each other's feelings, don't they? Good. I'll hold you to that. You're absolutely not allowed to send me out anywhere on my own. Got it? You would need to come with... If you're with me, I can go anywhere in the world. No! That defeats the purpose. Why can't you get what I'm saying? Oh, that's enough. I need some time alone.
Really? We're still doing holidays? Okay. Seems like we wouldn't be doing holidays anymore, but alright.
Music speaks to the heart. It's more powerful than any weapon.
Regardless of the quality, this is a good chance for us to prove our solidarity. This experience is critical.
I'm so sick of it all. There is so much to be done, yet all I encounter are new problems and pitfalls. Ugh. Sometimes I wish I could spend just one day doing absolutely nothing and gorging myself on sweets. Even I have moments of self-indulgence, you know. But Hubert would never allow it. Indeed. It may not be possible now, but one day we will know the joys of idling. Mark my words. Is that a smirk I spy? Is it so amusing to you, me daydreaming of free time? Your silly grin says otherwise. But let's put all that aside for now. There is something I've been meaning to tell you. I'm afraid this might sound a bit sentimental. However, I want to thank you. Because of you, I feel I can walk my fated path without losing myself. If I were alone, I might have lost perspective and become a harsh leader with a heart of ice. But I'm not alone. With you by my side, I'm somehow free to be not only a leader, but simply Edelgard. True. I am fortunate to be surrounded by many wonderful companions. Nevertheless, you are different from the rest. Until now, no one has been able to surpass me, much less command me. I have always been seen as an untouchable princess or emperor. No one spoke to me as an equal or met my gaze without flinching. It was lonely, terribly lonely. The only person I could rely on as I tried to claw my way out of the darkness was myself. But you have been a brilliant light. Somehow you have chased the darkness away. And for that, I will always be grateful.
Silver Sword Plus for the sword tournament. Why are we treating it like normal? This is too normal! We have 2 quests. Supply run, we're in need of resources. Your assistance would be much appreciated. And dealing with deserters. In need of capable fighters willing to hunt down deserters and Fodlan's Locket. Brave weapons are straight up buyable now. We can buy 5 elixirs, 5 master seals, and 1 silver shield. Oh! That's a lot of B and A rank battalions. At least some acknowledgement that things can't just be as they were, you know? Ferdinand von Eyre.
Take that!
Yes, I am in a hurry. Edelgard claims victory after victory. She never stops.
Do you carry battalions into New Game Plus cycles?
Swept away the corrupt nobles, my father included. I always thought I would be the one to unseat him, but she did it instead, with all the ease and indifference of someone cracking an egg. Now, as the head of House Eyre, I serve Edelgard. I have to accept that I am her subordinate, working beneath her to reunify Fodlan. The disparity between Edelgard and myself is obvious. She never stops moving forward, single-minded, never wavering. But where does that leave me? Here, flailing about, going nowhere, contributing nothing. But it is. That is the reality. Not once since our days at the Academy have I exceeded Edelgard's abilities. I saw her as a worthy opponent. She did not even see me as a contender. She did not even consider me at all. As the head of the noble House Ire, I must be able to achieve results. But all my efforts have come to nothing. Results are everything. I have not shown results, so I will be stagnating here forever. I appreciate that, but it is not enough to persuade me. I know that I have a massive wall to climb, and I must climb it alone. Even so, may I ask a favor? Professor, please keep an eye
I take
on
it
my
that,
progress.
like, the supports in general are more
I would
serious at
appreciate
this
if you were
point.
always by my side, bearing witness to my accomplishments.
Oh, you're not wearing your mask anymore.
You've survived. How very fortunate. Were you dead, I wouldn't be able to fight you. But you are very much alive. Now I have a chance to kill you.
Oh, I see. Advanced drills are just training. I love how many variations on this theme there are.
Edelgard is controlling the Empire. She is putting the pressure on the Kingdom and Alliance. Empire and religion are at open war. It will be difficult for us at first, but corrupt nobles are many. That means the common people will rebel and be joining our side. With you, Professor, the battle tides will turn. I have certainty.
Oh, just everyone has access to them, huh? To make up for the fact that there aren't really, you know, teachers.
For 5 years, I fought for the Empire. I've cut down hordes of enemies. Now I have the same look in my eyes that the boar used to have in his. The look of a savage beast who loves nothing but destruction and violence.
I feel like there can't be that much divergence in the other routes, like between each other, where this is the most divergent.
I hope not. You and Edelgard must not disappoint me. Mark my words. The future you're building had better be worth all this bloodshed.
I guess the sword tournament here is like a training thing. Get a silver sword plus out of this? Sure. Let's have Petra enter.
Each battle a victory.
Can you play on different difficulties in New Game Plus? Because, like, I figure you don't keep, like, levels.
Witness Bridget Pride.
Yeah, I win this. Well, yeah,
My heart burns with pride.
Huh. See, I guess the main difference is if you're playing Blue Lions, I think is the house name.
I fight for justice's name.
The Alliance falls and the survivors join you. Or they are forcibly recruited into the Empire, I guess also makes sense. I think I win. Yeah.
Witness frigid pride.
Alright, what's available here? That is a cheap Levin sword! Yes, give! Master Seals are $3,000, so that's cheap. A Garthium. Alright. And another cheap Master Seal. Edelgard has the Axe Emir, or Aimer. A creststone weapon designed to Edelgard's specifications, allowing her to use Raging Storm. Let's see, that is 24 might, 60 hit, 20 crit. I guess that's a boss killer, though. Since it's crest weapon, so it's really fragile. Hubert learned nothing new. Ferdinand still has the Spear of Assault and the Aegis Shield. Linhart still has the Kydeca Staff and the same spells. Oh, I think all weapons repaired, not just equipped ones. I like how the game was like, oh, people grew, check their weapons, but it's like, Edelgard got a new weapon. That's it. Yuritsa, of course, comes with the Scythe of Sariel. Crafted using archaic methods, this intimidating scythe is the Death Knight's weapon of choice. Oh, and Death Knight is his straight-up class. And he comes with the Dark Seal. Oh, that's the free one on this route. I see.
I thought you might be at the monastery. That's why I made my way here. I decided to follow your path because I believed in you. Then, now that you've returned, I have my guiding light once again. Welcome back, Professor.
That's hilarious. I assume we're not dealing with those who slither here in this route.
All right, I'm ready to fight. Let's do this. Leave it to me. I can take on the whole
Moving off the rails, seeing everything from a different
of the
angle.
enemy's army.
Giving you better understanding for everything you learn elsewhere, but it's the shortest and very commonly criticized for cutting off early, despite a very obvious further plotline being presented near the end.
I know my limits now, Professor.
Oh, does it seem like there was going to be a DLC to expand that plot, but just it never came out or something?
Hey, Professor. It's been a really long time, hasn't it? The last 5 years have been full of heartbreak. Not from girls, but friends and family becoming enemies. One of the things that kept me going was the hope you'd return. And now here you are. A lot has changed, but you're back. and it's the first time I can remember being happy.
Or is it more sequel baiting?
House Gloucester will remain staunchly neutral in this war, even if we press into Alliance territory. My father is no threat to the Empire. Lady Edelgard surely understands that. The Great Bridge of Myrddin, however, is another story. I hear it is held by Judith of House Daphne. She is renowned for her military prowess. We would do well not to underestimate her.
Another support?
Professor.
With Hubert. Heck yeah.
Nice place, isn't it, Professor? Standing here, you can almost feel the goddess's absence. Discounting what dwells within you, of course.
Then I feel like it's less of, oh, you'll find out more later, or we didn't have enough time, and more, well, you gotta play other routes to actually follow these storylines.
Do you think some punishment would rain down from the sky if this monastery were to be destroyed? Of course not. Even if the so-called Immaculate One came back here for revenge, that would only be a result of this war, not the work of a deity. If it is between love and hate, then I would choose the latter. The goddess failed to properly govern this world. That is why it is necessary for Lady Edelgard to become the supreme leader of Fodlan.
This is the rare JRPG where, for the most part, the kill the goddess story is carried out by the what are perceived as the villains.
Those with power must use it wisely. Is that not a teaching of the Church of Seros? It's absurd to preach to others what you cannot practice yourself. Yes. It is our humanity that pushes us to step up and take the lead should the need arise. That is not the case for inhuman creatures with lifespans well beyond our own. We must fight to preserve what makes us human. You are the one closest to the enemy. I wonder if you will be able to maintain your humanity to the end. Does that mean you know I will do what must be done? You must trust me a great deal. I've already dedicated my life to Lady Edelgard. To throw my lot in with you is inconceivable. But if I had 2 lives to give, I might devote one of them to you. We could be a couplet of birds, flying alongside the sovereign of Black Eagles.
I'm surprised that, like, basically everyone except Rhea is pretty alright in this game.
The north side of the Great Bridge of Myrddin is in the territory of Acheron of the Alliance. He's known
Hello,
as
Violet.
He's a notorious...
We have Violet and Violet. Oh boy.
A man like that doesn't have the guts to give it all for the defense of that bridge.
Huh. No one's out in the garden.
I've been working here for a few years now. There are plenty of others working here too. Since the acolytes and students aren't here, it's up to us to pick up the slack.
I have good friends in both the Alliance and Fargus, so this fighting weighs heavily on me. I can't bear the thought of battling the Knights of Seros to the death. I have to keep my chin up though, right? Let's press on together, Professor.
It's Mercedes that's voiced by Tsumugi, right?
It seems we've reached a stalemate on the war front. I admit I'm feeling apprehensive.
I like your outfit, Lysithea.
I agree. It's time to shelve my personal feelings and focus on the bigger picture. I'll fight with full force. I'm counting on you to lead us to victory, Professor.
Not particularly, no.
Professor. Hey, Professor, something's been bothering me. Remember that suspicious guy I chased after back when I was a student? A knight scolded me for it, but at the time I really thought I was doing the right thing. Now that I've had more experience on the battlefield, though.
Caspar's portrait is reminding me of Troy Calypso from Borderlands 3. Oh, that cutscene. Yeah.
I've been looking for you. There isn't much time, so I'll keep this brief. The knights encountered a band.
Yeah, I guessed that Rhea is Saros at this point.
We prevailed.
Because wasn't the Immaculate One supposed to be like a gift?
Our soldiers are highly trained, but the enemy was formidable, and we weren't expecting combat. There were a number of casualties among our troops. There is something I wanted to bring to your attention. The brigands all bore identical tattoos of a scorpion on their arms. Please keep an eye out for that mark in the future.
The guy Caspar chased had a scorpion on his arm.
No. Don't mention it. If you'll excuse me, I need to get back to my duties.
Heck of a coincidence, right? As soon as I mentioned that suspicious
I mean,
guy,
Rhea is either
this
Saros
happens.
or the daughter of Saros.
But some of the knights died in combat. They died because of what I did 5 years ago. This is my fault. If I'd stayed quiet and tracked the guy down like you said, we would have stopped those brigands sooner. And I wouldn't have blood on my hands. But he probably wouldn't have. Now those knights, they're not coming back. We both know it. This is all my fault.
I mean, is it a thing that only Fire Emblem fans would pick up on anyway, like basically every other hint?
My father used to be a knight in service of the royal family of Fargus. For a time, he was at the monastery. But apparently, he's back in Fargus serving as a knight again. Which means, if I fight with this army, I'll eventually have to face my own father. Terribly. But I've accepted my fate. I'm ready for anything. Of course, if at all possible, I would prefer not to
And
fight my father.
I'm just assuming that Sedith is Rhea's kid, and then Flame is Sedith's kid.
This is the path I chose. I have no regrets.
I actually didn't. I don't think. I think I just did the quest, and that's the closest I came.
Professor! Oh my, it's so good to see you. These days, so many old friends seem to be disappearing. But you're here. It's incredible to see you again after 5 years.
I do like everyone's outfits, honestly, and their armor, in the applicable cases. Hey, I can finally harvest those flowers! Hey, in those 5 years it grew a fruit of life. Nice. Flowers and Rhea's hair was supposed to be a dead giveaway when you first see her. I kind of wish there were like an RPG where there's like all this build up, and then the main character's just like, yeah, that's obvious.
By making an enemy of the church, disorder is running rampant among the populace. It's quieted down over these last 5 years, though. The well-being of Her Majesty is steadily improving.
Professor? Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report.
You decided to stick here, huh?
What's that? Do I have brothers in the church? You really are well informed. My older twin works for the Knights of Saros, but I think he's just a grunt. Not a noble gatekeeper like yours truly. Unlike me, he's very devout. He left the Empire a long time ago.
At long last we meet again. I knew you were alive. I knew you could survive. And 5 years on, you arrive. We're reunited. I'm glad I kept watch for you in the downstream villages all that time. I was so devoted to finding you that I left the Knights of Saros. Now I serve no one other than you. I'll protect you, just as I promised Captain Gerald I would all those years ago.
Professor?
Oh, I wonder what the traders have that's different, if anything.
Hey, welcome.
Nothing.
Come again.
Hello there.
Still maxed out on smithing stones.
Return soon,
All right.
please.
Linhart.
Ah, yes. Professor, what brings you out so late? I've been worrying about something. I asked you once to help me achieve my goal of being a person who can simply nap all day. Then I thought, if the world becomes a peaceful place, all my crest research might be for naught. Well, I don't see how crests have much use in times of peace. Certainly there are crests that make you stronger and could be used in engineering. And I suppose crests that increase magical abilities might help doctors heal injuries. Still, the possibilities seem limited. It's as if
You just have to be
crests were
creative.
designed to be used only in times of war. Their power
Designed.
to bring about death and destruction. I cannot prove what I say is true, but suppose for a moment that it is. The longer this war goes on, the more useful my crest research becomes. But if the war were to end today, we would go on living, perhaps not using the power of our crests at all. It is truly my dream to be a crest scholar, but I also dream of all the wonderful naps peace would bring. Saying it all out loud, it feels a rather stupid thing to worry over. Knowledge or peace, sleep or war. You know, you're right. In the end, maybe it's not that stupid after all. It certainly isn't to me. Although if I stop researching crests, I'll have one less excuse to spend time with you. Professor, don't make faces like that. People like you, who listen to my blathering, and then nod and smile as though what I say matters. People like you are very precious to me.
There were clashes with the Kingdom Army near the Western Front. But this is the first time the Alliance Army has had an honest-to-goodness fight. I hear their leader's pretty competent. But the Alliance Army is pretty tough, too.
Ah, a new face. I am Randolph von Burgleys. I'm the
Oh.
guardian of this place. Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
you were
I'm sure I've seen
bodyguard.
you somewhere before. Ah, yes. You're Her Majesty's professor. You're alive? Oh, this is my little sister, Flage. She's just a rookie, but she's helping me as my assistant.
Hello.
I'm Fleisch von Berkeley's. It's nice to meet you. I know I'm inexperienced, but gonna do my best. You can count on me to look after my big brother.
I've heard you're planning to march into Alliance territory. I'll be here to guard the fort.
I need a favor.
His Highness, the new king, is in the process of unifying the kingdom under his command. His powerful army has joined forces with the Knights of Seros, who moved their seat to Fargus. And now they're presenting a united front against the Imperial army. They're our greatest enemy, absolutely. I don't relish the idea, but there's no turning back now. For now, we should focus our efforts on the Alliance. The Kingdom and Church can come afterwards. Judith, who defends the Great Bridge of Myrden, is a formidable opponent. We can't afford to drop our guard.
No. Since the great nobles lost their standing, the regulation of the merchant houses has relaxed somewhat. You'd probably have thought that would make it easier for us to profit. But the world isn't so simple. The war has made the price of goods unstable, causing no end of hardship for the people.
Professor? This may seem a bit sudden, but I want to thank you, Professor. That is, for letting me live my life the way I want. I've noticed you've been giving me fewer of those soul-revealing gazes lately. I appreciate you making an effort to not trouble yourself over who I spend my time with. If you say so. But I notice you doing it all the same. It's kind of sweet in its own way. Professor, may I tell you a story about when I was younger? I was an orphan, living in the back alleys of Enbar, until one day I was overheard singing. That was when my new life began. I was suddenly a songstress in the Middle Frank Opera Company. Performers, nobility. I met so many people. But none of them ever really knew me. I was just some young, pretty girl who could sing. A spectacle to be admired. Even though everyone praised my looks, my voice, they showered me with gifts. I knew one day I'd be old. My looks would fade. My voice would change. I wouldn't sound the same. And I started to wonder, when I did get old, what would I have left? I'd be old. Alone. And back on the streets of the capital, right where I'd started. That's sweet of you. Even if you are just flirting. I never had much to begin with in life. And I worry that one day I'll be that way again. That's why I keep searching for someone who will love me. Someone unaware of the songsters. Who can love a girl that used to be scared and alone on the streets of the capital. I wonder if such a strange person can even exist.
Stupid hedges.
The last 5 years have been difficult at times. My relationship with Edelgard is rather contentious. Nevertheless, I cannot abandon my family's duties. As Duke Eyre, I must play my part in the Imperial Army. Edelgard intends to abolish the nobility, but I know I can dissuade her from doing so.
Within the territories of the Alliance, the Gloucester and Daphne houses dominate the West. House Gloucester has always supported the Empire. There's not much chance of them defying us. So all that needs to be done to restore peace in the West now is to crush House Daphne. Professor.
Hey, Professor. What have you been up to for 5 years? Hope you haven't gone soft.
Oh, you finally got an outfit that fits.
I got myself into perfect shape. Took all 5 years of pushing my muscles to the limit. But look. You bet I do. You gotta get training if you want to catch up.
What's that look on your face? Surprised to see me? I'm a mercenary. Always have been. Even when I was with the Knights of Saros. I never was too attached to Fodlan. I was considering leaving soon. I might change my mind if you're around.
Hello. Are we leaving for battle? I heard it's a long march. But it's fine. I've had plenty of time to stay inside lately, so I think it's time I went out. Yeah, I can do this. No more Bernie Bear. Oh, yeah. People call me Bernie Bear since I hole up in my den all the time. Not anymore, though.
More like Baronadetta.
Right.
Pardon me.
Hello.
A moment.
Right, it's been a while since I've checked my renown standing. I guess I should read the statues.
Hi there. Hey. I was so surprised to hear that the faith of Saros was a sham. My eyes nearly popped out of my skull. But just because the church lied to us doesn't mean that the goddess isn't real. That's my take on it anyway. I feel very anxious with no one to pray to.
Me? After the battle 5 years ago, the Imperial Army occupied Garreg Mach. The cathedral and several other buildings were destroyed, but we've done some repair work here and there, and we're using the buildings as a base of operations. As for me, well, the church moved its headquarters to Fargus, and I've seen no reason to follow. When I returned to Enbar, I received a summons from Her Majesty, and I chose to answer.
Professor, since you came back, everyone's been smiling. Just you being here makes an incredible difference. I can't express how reassuring it is to see you.
Saint Maquil statue. A statue of Saint Maquil, one of the 4 saints. It is said that his gift for strategy was unparalleled. He served as a chief tactician of Saint Saros and was a pioneering figure for and master of the magical arts. Saint Indek statue. A statue of Saint Indek, one of the 4 saints. It's said that he was known for his wisdom and dexterity. Though unskilled in the art of human interaction, he used his gifts to help those in need. He was also an indomitable warrior who slew countless foes on countless battlefields. Nice. Saint Sethleen statue. A statue of Saint Sethleen, one of the 4 saints. It said she was a kind and beautiful soul who was loved by all for her empathy and her ability to heal severe wounds. She's the daughter of Saint Sickle. And Saint Sickle. A statue of Saint Sickle, one of the 4 saints. It said he was a I'm not saying it keyhole. Compassionate yet stern figure whose faith was so true he was able to perform miracles. He is the father of Saint Sethleen.
Need something?
I'll just hold on to the for now. You can't make me say keyhole.
My adoptive father sent me here so our family name would be known. He doesn't care which side wins, the Empire or the Alliance. However, even if he tells me to come home, I intend to stay. I want to see this new world Edelgard dreams of.
That's weird, though. The daughter's saying her, quote, weapon was the Kaiticus. Link to the crest of Sethlane. Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Professor, I'm sorry to have dragged you into the fight again so soon after our reunion, but you appeared at a most opportune time. I'm truly humbled by your support, my teacher. Thank you. And so I will. I'm hoping your abilities from 5 years prior are still intact.
I can do that.
Ready to head out, okay?
And who's holding it again? Is it Linhart? Yeah.
Allow me to brief you on the details of our situation. The Empire firmly controls the western portion of Fargus. However, the central and eastern regions continue to put up heavy resistance. The strongholds in these regions are Aryan Road, the fortress city, and Ferdiad, the kingdom capital. We cannot control Fargus until we have taken both of these cities. As for the Alliance, Houses Gloucester and Ordelia seem predisposed to capitulate to us. However, due to interference from Houses Regan and Goneril, we have yet to secure their cooperation. Claude obviously hopes to keep the Alliance whole through diplomacy, but because we have had to focus our efforts against the Church until now, our forces have yet to meet his. We have only recently begun to take the fight to Alliance territory. I have a request for you.
Gather the requested resources and deliver them. I need 2 Veronas and 2 onions. I'll try and keep that in mind.
Well...
Hello. Professor, do you know how happy I was to hear you were still alive? I'll tell you how happy. For the past 2 days, I haven't had my morning or my afternoon naps. Well, as long as we weren't marching. Can't sleep much then. But it's not for want of trying.
Funny how none of this ever spoiled. Oh, I actually do have all of it.
Well done, Professor. Thank you.
Quest complete. Oh, I can go upstairs now.
Professor, I'll tell you.
You finally joined us, have you? I attached myself to the Imperial Army as well. Seemed the thing to do. I feel I owe it to Edelgard to set my past feelings about the Empire aside. I am happy to help her. It's strange, isn't it? After 5 years, the 3 professors are together once more. I am most curious, though. You say you were asleep for 5 whole years. Incredible. Perhaps this is another effect of your crest. I do look forward to investigating you in greater detail. Wonderful news. I am most excited to begin. We must find the time, of course.
I do find it interesting. The game doesn't even draw attention to it. It's just there's a marker there.
I'm so glad to see you're all right. I really regretted not being able to keep the promise I made to my mentor. Captain Gerald told me that if anything should happen to him, then I should stick by you. I'm going to do just what he asked. I'll be right here to support you from now on.
You mean, Byleth and Dorothea in this case. I mean, she's got the heart of one, apparently.
Right. It's normal for history to be revised in favor of those who hold the power. The documents in this library are no exception. It's perfectly possible for someone to have made edits to them, but it's my belief that no one has the power to blot out the truth entirely. I like to read the same texts over and over again. That way, I can spot some of the truths hidden between the lines.
Really?
Hello.
Yeah, the Archbishop's room. Huh. Nothing of interest here, at least for now. And here's the Star Terrace. Heck is that obelisk thing? Huh. There's a couple of water features up here. Alright. Oh, I see. By getting A rank, you unlock S rank when it's time. In the appropriate supports. I just like going down the list, so... Edelgard and Ferdinand first. Morale meals today. A gathering in the dining hall to strengthen battle bonds affects our enhancements dining with an ally, so that's everyone.
I know why you sat us next to each other. You want to see who can eat more quickly.
Ferdinand, please stop making everything a competition against me.
The Star Sphere. And then Caspar and Petra. Jesus.
I can eat so much of this stuff. My stomach's growling just thinking about it.
I would be liking that greatly.
Let's see. Bernadetta's maxed out. I guess there's Manuela. You missed the opportunity to deepen this bond.
My cooking is so good, it's been called seductive. Should I show you what I can do, Professor? Right. I do so enjoy cutting up vegetables in preparation to cook. So I'll do that and leave you with the cleanup. Oh.
Yeah, I figured that. Felix and Ash. Does Felix drop before Ash? I feel like Felix shows up after Ash in the list here. Oh, here we go. No, Felix comes first in the list.
That looks appetizing.
This looks delicious.
Sylvain and Mercedes. I assume I can't do Mercedes at this point, but we'll see. Like, I feel like most A and B ranks have to be done pre-time skip.
This is my...
Oh! No, I can do Mercedes B rank. Annette and Ingrid.
I appreciate any...
Raphael and Lysithia.
This is
Eating delicious.
Eureka and Mercedes are worth pairing up. Alright.
There, youngster. Won't you listen to this old man's troubles? I was born and raised right here in this town. I spent my whole life here. My daughter lives in the Empire. She sent me a letter to ask if I was keeping up with my daily worship.
Well, hello there, Professor. Is this a friend of yours? Is that so? I was sure you two knew each other. Is there something we can do for you, good sir?
Oh, what a lovely young lady. I was just telling this kind soul a story.
Really? What's troubling you?
Well, I was thinking of going to daily prayer, but my leg's been acting up and I can't walk properly.
How terrible. That's no good at all. May I be of assistance? I'd be happy to lend a shoulder and escort you to the chapel.
Would you? Oh, I'd be most grateful to you. Thank the goddess for sending this young lady to me today.
We'll need your help too, Professor. Here, sir, take my arm. Splendid work, Professor. You really seem to appreciate our assistance. I don't think I did anything particularly deserving of praise. I'm just happy that I could help. You did a great job cheering him up on your own. Putting a smile on someone's face always seems to brighten up the day. Is something wrong? You're giving me a strange look. Oh, how should I put this? I suppose it's just second nature to me. It's difficult to describe, but I can usually tell when someone is worried about something. Back there, I could tell that both you and the old man were in distress. I spent a good amount of my life living in the church. Maybe that's why I'm so good at identifying these things? Did I not mention that before? I spent nearly 10 years of my life in the Church of Fargus. Many came to us with their troubles. In my own time of need, I once ran to the church myself, and they helped me. May I share something with you, Professor? It's about a dream of mine. I'd like to work in the church one day. I want to be like the priest who helped me.
I don't know if there's gonna be a church, Mercedes. Mercedes.
It's not a very realistic dream. Please forget I said anything. If
Kinda
I were someone else,
feels like we're not doing this
without a crest or stature, maybe things would be different.
on the
It's a bit sad, but
path we've
this is the
decided
way
to take.
things have to be. After all, only the goddess can decide our fates.
Alright, was there anything I needed to do? Weapons auto-repaired. Planted and fertilized. Did the tournament. Notes. All we do is battle. The fight never stops and is turning everyone's disposition dour. Even the ladies. We should throw a banquet to lift everyone's spirit. How selfless of you. Wow, really? Alright. I guess I was supposed to say I'll see what I can do. That makes sense. Alright, I need to buy limited items. Not bothering with elixirs. Buy the Master Seals. Don't think I need a silver shield. But
We've got you.
we've got some high-rank battalions to hire on.
We're here. Let's give it a...
Furtive Life. Go ahead and give that to Petra. I mean, I have all these supports to do. Alright. Armored Lord is her new class. Edelgard and Ferdinand, rank B.
Standing tall, I see.
Edelgard, hello. What do you think of this horse? An equine marvel, no? Look how intelligent he is. You can see it in his face. Certainly much smarter than your horse.
Oh, what a lovely bloom.
Behold, Edelgard. Do you see this blood-red bloom? This is much more impressive than the pale little sprigs you have there. And, as I'm sure you know, redness symbolizes courage and strength.
Ferdinand? Stop. I can't believe you're wasting my time with a petty, one-sided rivalry.
What are you complaining about? You told me not to publish my pamphlet, and I complied.
I've had enough of your foolish antics. Very well. I will grant you the duel you so desperately desire. But when I win, you must forfeit the right to bother me with your ridiculousness. Forever. Do we have a deal?
Ah, so you'll fight me after all? Wonderful. To battle, then! All right, Edelgard. Have at me!
As you wish.
I feel like his desire for overcoming Edelgard has a decent reason, though.
I can't afford to hold back against an opponent like you. I led with my fastest, strongest strike.
Fastest and strongest? You're just flattering me. I have been defeated. Utterly. I cannot believe I was foolish enough to challenge such a plainly superior opponent.
The difference in our skill level is not so great as all that. If you had taken the first strike, you might have won. That's why I didn't give you the chance.
I do not think talent is what separates us so much as readiness. I had not the faintest idea of what to expect from a real duel. I was playing. You were not. That such an ill-prepared noble would think to challenge you? It is laughable.
Ferdinand.
Edelgard and Bernadetta, rank A.
Gardening with you is a lot of fun, Lady Edelgard.
I feel the same. You know so much about it, Bernadetta.
I looked after flowers a lot back home. I like them. They don't talk, they don't get angry, they don't hit you. And they're sweet.
They are sweet. Unlike people, they can all be trusted on sight.
You're sweet too, Lady Edelgard. I mean, not sweet, but, you know what I mean. You can talk or even get angry all you want.
Well, I'll strive to avoid getting angry.
You're really kind. I'm less scared of you than I used to be. Most nobles are terrifying. I've had lots of bad experiences with them. But getting the chance to talk to you like this makes me glad I came to the monastery.
I'm glad too. You made quite a few friends at the academy, didn't you? I had heard rumors about the reclusive daughter of House Varley, but you're nothing like I imagined.
Rumors? About me? Just pretend you didn't hear anything.
There's no need to be embarrassed. Rumors are meaningless. All that matters is the truth.
You're right. I'm not really a recluse now anyway. Not since I came to the monastery. I won't let the rumors bother me.
I'm happy to hear it. Actually, I should thank you.
Thank me? What for? Wait, do you mean you need to thank me for all the times I've made you mad? You do, don't you?
That mind of yours, no, I mean the grateful sort of things. Before I met you, I was more prone to anger, but now I've changed in that regard. So, thank you for that. Oh, I suppose you're not listening.
Oh, I'm done for! 5 years worth of resentment is about to crash down on me all at once! Ah!
Don't you mean 6 years?
It's okay, Bernadetta. I'm thanking you, not attacking you.
Oh, I jumped to conclusions again, didn't I?
You did, yes. But don't worry about it. Enough talk, don't you think? Let's take care of these sweet little plants.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Bernadetta, I hope you'll keep spending time with me.
Of course I will. Hey, look! This flower's just about ready to bloom.
So it is. I can't wait to see its true colors.
Edelgard and Petra, rank B.
I have been watching you in secrecy, Edelgard. But you and Hubert were noticing me, correct?
Well, if you intend to shadow us like that, you can be sure it won't escape our notice. Hubert was primed and ready to remove you. I ordered him to stand down.
You have my thanks. I have been making a decision that I am wanting to learn from you. I was thinking it was enough to be shooting one bird with one arrow. But after speaking with you, I trained with hardness. Now I can be shooting 2 birds with 1 arrow.
2 pheasants? Are you implying that...
Yes, a single arrow.
That's astounding, Petra. It's perhaps a bit late to explain now, but what I was getting at earlier was actually...
I am having a joke.
You... come again?
I really was shooting these birds with 1 arrow, but my joke is that I did have understanding about what you told me. I took it to my heart.
Did you know?
You are a person with great bluntness. I am admiring of you. As an emperor, a commander, a warrior, and a friend, you are excelling at all that you do. All of the Empire is resting on your shoulders, and that is including Bridget, too. I will not be falling behind you. I will be carrying Bridget on my shoulders, too. And one day, you and I will be facing each other, and we will be shaking hands.
Yes, that much is certain. I can see that you no longer need me to look out for you. You and I are much the same. We dutifully shoulder our burdens and stand tall no matter what. It would be foolish of me to deny it.
Your words give me great joy. And it also gave me joy to see you being flustered when I was showing you the birds.
A cheap trick, to be sure, but inarguably funny. To think that you went to all the trouble of shooting 2 pheasants at once for the sake of a joke. Well played, Petra.
We both are growing every day. I hope we will keep doing so.
Edelgard and Lysithea, rank C. Really?
Lysithea, are you all right? You don't look well.
Huh? Oh, no, I'm fine. Really, just not accustomed to so much manual labor.
You were cleaning the library all by yourself?
Yes. The other student who was assigned to tidy up with me wasn't feeling well. So, it's just me. I figured I could at least dust the bookshelves or something, but I got a little carried away.
So many books. You probably tired yourself out just moving them from the shelves.
As much as I love books, I can't say I love carrying stacks of them to and fro. They're so heavy.
Well, maybe you should think things through a little more next time. Surely you can tell how much physical strength the job is going to require before you begin.
I can do without the condescension, thanks. After all, I'm the only one who has to deal with the fact that I've worn myself out.
I only said that you should take care of yourself, especially considering...
Considering what?
Nothing. Never mind. How about you return to your quarters? I'll finish cleaning up in here.
But I want to finish what I've started.
I don't mind, really. Please, don't make me repeat myself.
Fine. As long as you'll finish all this up.
I will. Get some rest, okay?
Yes. Thank you.
If what I heard about Lysithea is true, I just don't know how much of it I should believe.
And Edelgard and Manuela, rank B.
Professor Manuela, may I come in? This room, what happened here?
Oh, nothing out of the ordinary. Why? Is something the matter?
No, I just... can I help you tidy up? Actually, I have to know. How did you make such a mess in the first place?
Please don't ask for the details. Suffice to say, My room always looks like this after I've been dumped.
Oh, right. Well, let's see what we can do about it.
Your help was unexpected, but appreciated, Edelgard. Now, what can I do for you?
I heard that you haven't been acting like yourself, so I came to see if you're doing all right. But the moment I saw you, I could tell you were troubled, so it seemed pointless to ask.
I suppose it was rather obvious, wasn't it? Perhaps I should stop being quite so dramatic. All the same, dear, I'd like to repay you for helping me out. Name your prize.
I don't need a reward, but if you wouldn't mind answering my question, I'd greatly appreciate it.
Of course. What is it?
I once asked you why you chose to retire. You said that the goddess supports you emotionally, but it's up to you to take care of the rest. I have to admit that I don't quite understand what you meant by that. Can you please explain?
Did I say that? I suppose so. From joining the Middle Franc Opera Company to becoming a diva of the grand stage. I went through so much to achieve what I did. Looking back, I don't know how I made it.
What happened during that time?
A lot. My divinely gifted voice only got me to the edge of the stage. From there, I had to work hard to defeat my rivals. I did all of this by myself, through sheer force of will. All so I could stand center stage.
Ah, I see I was wrong about something. I thought that being a devout believer implied a certain weakness of spirit, an inability to survive on your own. But you've proven me wrong, Professor Manuela.
I kind of feel bad just actually going through the supports here on screen because I don't really have anything interesting to comment about them.
Show them this letter. Threaten them. Do what you must. Now go.
Yes, sir.
Hubert, that letter. Is that what I think it was?
I suppose there's no denying it.
But Edelgard
explicitly forbade me to send it. Yes, I know.
I cannot believe it. You disobeyed a direct order? I thought you were her loyal aide.
Unwaveringly. All that I do for her. I seem to recall you expressing a similar sentiment. It is our role to guide her when she is on the wrong course of action. Is that not what you said?
You're not supposed to do it in secret. When you disagree with your leader, you must voice your concerns directly. Otherwise, what is the point?
The point is the same. Lady Edelgard's best interests are served whether she knows it or not. She needs not trouble herself with the mundane details of my actions. Only results matter.
You are sorely misguided. When I believe that Edelgard is making a mistake, I tell her as much. Through discussing the matter, I sometimes find that I was mistaken. To skip that process, to make a decision that is not yours to make.
Perhaps your advice is simply useless then.
Excuse me?
Listen to yourself. If I do as Lady Edelgard requires, then you tell me to be more independent. But if I tread my own path, I am misguided. I suppose the fault is mine for expecting any useful advice to come out of your mouth.
Ugh, I have had enough of your grousing. To think,
Grousing?
I started to believe you were a useful aide.
Hubert and Bernadetta, rank A.
A summons from Bernadetta? How historic.
I've got something to give you.
Do you? What is it?
A token of apology for all the rude stuff I've said. It's only right. I hope this will help you let go of all the grudges you're probably holding against me.
There are no grudges, but very well. I'll accept it.
You will? Great! Here you go.
Some kind of embroidery. A flower. This is certainly lovely, but why give it to me? It seems like something you would send to a female friend or someone you had romantic feelings for.
But it's, lovely, you said, right? That's why. If you wear it, maybe you'll look less, terrifying.
You would like me to wear this?
You hate it, don't you? I knew it. I knew you'd be angry. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Why not? Do I put it here? It really is quite nice. I cannot say that it suits me, but...
No, it does. It looks great on you. Sorry.
Nothing else for it, I suppose. I dislike you laughing at me, but it is preferable at least to you fleeing in terror. Therefore, I will wear this when I'm around you in the future.
Really? You will? I'm so glad. But you're sure? You're really sure?
If you're going to question me about it, perhaps I'll change my mind.
No. I believe you. You're a lot less scary with it on.
That is what's most important. Now I suppose it is safe for me to return to my usual strict methods.
No, I'm not ready!
This again.
Oh, I don't get to see it. Ferdinand and Bernadetta, rank A.
Even with the fires of war raging all around us, tea never fails to soothe the soul. Do you not agree, Bernadetta?
I hadn't actually thought about it, but yes.
Excellent. Oh, that reminds me.
What's that?
A long time ago, my parents were in talks to arrange my marriage with a certain young lady. She never set foot outside of her room, and she made little dolls to curse her.
That explains the
frightened. I dissuaded my parents from
embroidery thing.
I can see that. She does sound pretty frightening. I relate to the staying in the room part, though.
That girl was you, Bernadetta, a daughter of House Varley.
What? I don't make dolls to curse people.
You are a skilled embroiderer, no? I guess I was wrong. You were not making dolls.
I did make dolls, but cute ones. Nice little carnivorous plants and things.
Maybe I should not have brought this up.
Why not? Carnivorous plants are adorable.
Yes, adorable. Anyway, if I had actually known you, I would have accepted the proposal.
Why? Did you have some scheme in mind?
No, I just mean, now that I have gotten to know you, I would have been happy to...
So, you're saying you'd... me? It's getting kinda hot in here, isn't it? Maybe it's the tea.
Why are you getting so worked up? That was all a long time ago now.
A long time ago?
Yes. Now we are soldiers fighting together in the same great conflict, right? And my parents are gone. So any agreements they might have cooked up would be completely invalid.
I guess so.
Just think, if we had been married, we would not have been able to build such a deep friendship.
That's true. Yeah, we never would have gotten this close. I would have given up on the relationship my parents chose for me and shut myself away even more.
So all in all, I am glad I refused to marry that doll-cursing princess.
Hey! I said I never made cursed dolls!
Sorry. I am just glad to have met you at the monastery. I had better take my leave. We should have tea together again sometime soon.
Yeah, see you. I'm glad we met here too.
I kind of expected a small gag of him, like, forgetting his tea or something. Felix and Ash, rank C.
I must have left it in the library. Oh, is that Felix? Hey, Felix. This is a surprise. I didn't think you had much interest in books. I'm already finished with that one. You can borrow it if you'd like.
No need. I was just curious who it belonged to.
Why not read a few pages at least while you've got it open? I think you'd really like it. The plot is pretty different from a typical Knight's Tale, but it's still really good. Do you like stories about adventure and chivalry?
No, I despise them.
Yeah, well, have you tried reading any? You might find them really interesting. I know I do.
What do you find so interesting?
Well, for one thing, the knights in these stories are always gallant and brave. And they always value things like friendship, loyalty,
But you choose the
and
one for
justice.
Byleth, right?
That's the kind of knight I want to be.
Ridiculous. Friendship, loyalty, justice. Only fools allow their lives to be ruled by such nonsense. Fools who get themselves killed for nothing. Only to be celebrated as heroes in books like this. Writers of these stories are worse than tyrants. And they seize control of people's thoughts.
That's a little much. I was only interested in...
I don't care. Such blind enthusiasm is dangerous. Be more moderate in your passions.
You know something, Felix? You are exactly like the knight in this story.
Excuse me?
On the surface, he's sarcastic and intimidating, but underneath, he's kind and cares for his friends. In the end, they become heroes together and conquer all obstacles.
Disgusting. Stop looking at me like that.
Oh, see, right there. That's just what I mean. You sound exactly like him. I'm going to lend you this book. Really, I insist. Just give it a read, all right? Trust me, and you can tell me what you think when you're done.
Why is this happening?
Take a look, Felix. It's in a book. Sylvain and Mercedes, rank C.
Mercedes, you look divine as always. Are you off to pray?
Oh, hello, Sylvain. I was just on my way to pray. How did you guess?
Well, because I've been watching your lovely...
Oh, I get it. You're the type who's always looking at girls, aren't you?
I won't lie, I do enjoy beholding women, but I don't mean it like that with you. I know I sound like a dope. I think you're special.
Oh, really? You think I'm so clumsy that I need someone to watch over me. Is that why you can't take your eyes off me?
You're beautiful, and I mean that. You're... how can I put it without sounding even worse? Okay, here goes. I want to get to know you better. As friends, I mean.
I don't know where to begin.
Well, what's something you like?
I like to pray. I've been praying regularly since I was a child.
You grew up in the Empire, didn't you?
That's right. I was raised in House Bartels.
Bartels? I thought you were born to House Martreats.
It's a complicated story. I'm not sure that it's a very interesting one, but I'm happy to share it with you.
I don't mean to be nosy, if it's too personal.
Oh no, I don't mind. I wasn't trying to hide anything from you. House Martreats fell shortly before I was born.
Oh.
My father passed away while my mother was still pregnant with me, so she had nowhere to go. After I was born, my mother ended up marrying the head of House Bartels. Shortly after, my mother bore a true Bartels child who bore a crest. She and I were treated as though we were no longer useful to the family after that.
You think the Bartels were just using her to secure a crest?
They must have been. My mother and I were removed from the family and forced to flee to a church in the kingdom. I abandoned the Bartels name and took up our old family name again.
So you grew up in a church. Okay, it makes more sense now why you're praying all the time.
Yes, oh, praying! I forgot that I was on my way to pray.
Right. And I interrupted you. Well, see you around, Mercedes.
Yes, see you.
House Bartels wanted a crest, and ruined other people's lives to get one. These idiots are all the same.
And Raphael and Lysithia rank C.
This theory just isn't coming together. The thought behind it is sound enough, but...
Hey, Lysithia, your forehead's all wrinkled. You look tense. Is something wrong? You know you can tell your big bro you know you can tell me anything, right?
Raphael, while I appreciate your offer, I'm not so sure you'll be much help here.
What does that mean?
Oh, are you researching something complicated?
In that case, yeah, you're probably right. Is there something else I can help you with? I'm really good at other things, like training.
I have absolutely zero interest in such things.
I have an idea. Do you want to get real good at playing tag? I can teach you. There's a trick to it that most people don't know. Like to not get tagged and stuff. Let me show you. It's too sunny to spend all day inside studying. Come on, Big Bro's gonna take you outside.
Shut up, shut up, shut up! Can't you see I'm busy? Go bother someone else. What nerve you have too calling yourself Big Bro, like I'm your little sister or some nonsense. Just cut the act.
Did I really say that out loud?
Anyway, my grades were always miles better than yours. If you want to play the part of Big Brother, you'd probably benefit from studying way, way more.
Like I said, I'm really good at other things. Just not classroom learning.
I can't stand all the excuses. Clearly, you're the little kid here. You got all that? Now don't bother me again. Understood? Bye.
Did she just storm out instead of kicking him out of her dorm room? Lysithia? Alright. Don't think we have any certs I care about, but I will check either way. Oh, I see the sprites. Actually, that might not even be a different sprite. Never mind. Although I feel like they are. The assassin sprite is weird. That, like, yellow thing. Huh. And then... notes. 1185. Regains consciousness at the bottom of the valley and then reappears at Garreg Mach. 1181. Leads the Imperial Army and conquers Garreg Mach. 1185. Forms a Black Eagle strike force at Garreg Mach, which is under territorial rule. 1185. Reassigned to Garreg Mach when the Black Eagle strike force is formed. Absconds from House Fraldarius. Absconds from House Gautier. Returns home to the kingdom capital and helps with the merchant business before joining the Black Eagle Strike Force. Absconds from House Dominic. Absconds from House Galatea. House Gloucester House Gloucester announces its support of the Empire. Searches for employment as a knight while running a restaurant with his family. Returns home and helps with the merchant business. House Cordelia declares its support of the Empire. Returns home to assist her adoptive father with governmental affairs. Serves the Empire army in accordance with her adoptive father's will. Serves the Imperial Army as a mercenary fighting in battles across the land. Distances himself from the Church of Saros and returns to the Empire. Leaves the Knights of Saros and searches for Byleth. Something I thought I would double check. Okay, mission time. The Great Bridge Coup. The Black Eagle Strike Force has an unexpected encounter with someone thought to have died years prior. Amidst the joy, your forces prepare to invade Alliance territory.
Thank you.
The newly crowned king of the Holy Kingdom of Fargus, Dimitri, has declared fealty to the Church of Saros and is raising an army in preparation for all...
What's up? Oh wait, no, it's going to save that I'm going into the cutscene, isn't it? Yeah. Whoops.
The newly crowned king of the Holy Kingdom of Fargus, Dimitri, has declared fealty to the Church of Saros.
It's been there.
And is raising an army in preparation for all-out war with the Empire. As leader of the Alliance, Claude maintains a facade of neutrality amidst infighting between those who support and those who oppose the Empire. Meanwhile, the Black Eagle Strike Force plans to capture Alliance territory before Edelgard takes the war to the Kingdom and the Church of Saros. With sights set on capturing Deirdre at the center of House Regan's territory, she leads a march across the Great Bridge of Myrddin to establish a bridgehead.
We're about to commence our attack on the Great Bridge of Myrddin. But first, allow me a moment of your time. It is something that I can only ask of you. Listen well. It concerns Lady Edelgard's uncle, the regent of the Empire, Lord Arundel.
Yeah, that piece of shit.
Although he is currently cooperating with Her Majesty, he maintains his own sizable military troops. It seems to me that his plans differ from our own. I assume you recall a certain group's scheming from 5 years ago? Solon and Kranya. They both served Lord Arundel. Professor, I understand how you must be feeling, considering what they did to your father. I know it must be foul to even consider cooperating with their kind. However, their power is essential for us at present. Edelgard also strongly opposed the idea at first. Our enemy is the Church of Saros itself. It cannot be toppled with the Empire's might alone. Those working under Lord Arundel are extremely hostile toward the Church. And the enemy of our enemy is... well, I think you sufficiently understand by now. Until all of Fodlan is united, it is a necessary evil. As for how we deal with him afterward, time will tell. Regardless, Her Majesty and I wish to join our power with yours. You should know that in her heart, Her Majesty regards that group as enemies of herself and her family. They used her father, the former emperor, as a puppet, and murdered her siblings with their vile experimentation. I believe Her Majesty may have told you some of this herself. That is why this was a very painful decision for her to make. I will do, as for all I have told you, please, I will do all I can to ensure her suffering is not in vain. And I hope I can count on you to do the same. As for all I have told you, please keep it in mind as we march forward. More importantly, I implore you to fight as best you can for Edelgard. From the bottom of my heart, I beg this of you.
Let's see here. We've got Judith up here, who carries the Hexlock Shield, offering protection and resilience. And a general carrying a brave bow. Otherwise, there are 2 chests on the map. Alright, let's make sure...
Welcome. Is that
You have a chest key.
Thanks a bunch.
And... Sure, Ferdinand can have a chest key.
Is that the one? Thanks a bunch. Come back soon.
I want to move you up a bit. Double check, make sure chest key. Alright, we're good. Defeat the enemy commander.
We'll be capturing the Great Bridge of Murden, a key strategic location of the Leicester Alliance. Claude will surely be sending reinforcements, so we must prevail before they arrive.
Our opponent is Judith, the so-called hero of Daphnel. We can handle her, so long as we don't get careless.
The boy said to run if I was in danger, but I could never do that. I'll hold out until reinforcements arrive.
You don't hold the Kaidaka staff. Oh wait, yes you do. Yep, that is definitely the Kaidakis.
Ready for anything.
Right.
What's the plan?
Let's clean up.
I will prevail.
I'm awake.
I'll do what I have to. How exciting.
Oh, do they have different, like, crit lines and stuff? Post-time skip.
More fighting.
I owe you one.
Nice.
Might makes right.
I'll cut a bloody path.
Prepare to die!
Hardly worth the effort.
What's my strategy? For the Empire.
I do this for all of us.
Jesus Christ.
I'll have to be clever.
Not so fast.
Alright, this was clearly a mistake to send Caspar in there. But alright. We're on casual after all.
It won't be in vain.
Allow me to demonstrate.
All is going to plan.
I'm not there yet.
Let's use the Levin sword so I can counter all of the archers.
It won't be in vain.
I do not tolerate obstacles. My ambitions are within reach.
Yeah, do that, and then Deadeye here.
I'm gonna do it.
Hello, Ceres.
Soon. Seems like fighting's all I do these days. One step closer to victory.
Welcome for the Empire?
No time for pity.
Ferdinand is the one with the freaking key.
What's the plan?
Let's finish this.
Don't bother haunting me.
Ready for anything.
A goddess icon. What's that one again? For luck. Oh, Petra's gonna love that one.
I will prevail.
Let's clean up.
We're taking over the world. Or Fodlan, at least.
Is that all?
This is our chance.
Huh. That was an interesting one.
I hate this feeling.
Yeah, I think I explained it before, but I'm doing it now because I have heard things about Edelgard. And figured, okay,
Keep you waiting, Judith. We're the reinforcements.
I should probably actually...
Orders from that false leader.
Oh, it's him. That idiot.
Reinforcements. We didn't finish in time. Don't
And
let
also
them
it's the
secure
shortest route. And this is not my genre, typically. I don't know how obvious it is.
Defeat the purpose.
I do this for all of us.
Yeah, you go ahead and get the kill there.
A little scratch won't stop me.
Yeah, I want to actually get Edelgard's character rather than have it explained. You know?
What's my strategy?
Let's see, how far can you get? All right, you go up here, take out this archer.
This could turn the tides. More fighting.
And then you start coming up this way. Yeah.
How exciting.
For the fate of Foden.
Oh, interesting that she keeps the Supreme Armored Company.
Really? I'll cut a bloody path.
The lands on the other side of this bridge are mine. I can't just let you cross.
You won't like this.
Can you handle this?
I think that's the first time I've had an enemy crit on me.
Predictable. Here is something to believe in. Another victory. All is going to plan.
You would think, but I also am idiot.
All for our future.
Obvious. Whatever it takes.
I was just stronger.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was Lawrence who was implying that Acheron's dying later anyway. Bow of Zoltan. A magnificent bow forged by the legendary artisan Botan? Zoltan. Requires A rank in bow, 13 might, 75 hit, 0 bonus crit. Are they?
No reason I should die in this place. It's time for me to return home.
He just deletes himself from the map. I wasn't expecting that.
Her will demands it.
Oh, is that Void Sorcery Engineers that he has now? Oh, Vestra Sorcery Engineers. Powerful magic users who belong to the secretive House Vestra. He just deleted himself from the map. What the heck?
I hate this feeling. I think I'm improving.
Received a brave bow. I mean... Yeah, the Zoltan bow just seemed like it was a silver bow. Go ahead and equip the Killing Edge since... No! I don't... I read it as soon as I hit A. You know what? Whatever, I have more. It doesn't actually matter. It's just annoying in the moment. I overreacted.
This is it. Claude, I'm sorry. I couldn't defend the bridge. All who are able, retreat!
Don't let her escape. If we can take her out now, the Daphne territory will be ours. That will allow us to march safely through the Alliance.
Work! Is that it? Obvious. Is that it?
My reflexes are just enough to be dangerous.
Die hard.
Thinning their numbers. Not what I was hoping for.
Not even an HP. Well, yeah.
It looks like I'm done for. Claude, I'm sorry.
I will keep making progress.
Received Hexlock Shield.
Alliance soldiers, Judith has fallen. Further conflict is futile. If you surrender, your lives will be spared. Lay down your weapons immediately.
I could have Divine Pulsed there to save myself the bother of grabbing another Killing Edge Plus. Oh well.
You have all fought well. With this victory, we now have a foothold in the Alliance. The Imperial Army will cross the Aramid River and push the front lines forward. The fight will continue, but do not allow that to stop you from taking pride in our hard-won victory.
Ah, this should put a stop to one of Edelgard's choice phrases. Well done, Professor. I believe it was, if only the Professor were here, we could forge ahead and change the tides of this war.
Ferdinand, it is not necessary to tell the Professor such things.
We're not the only ones benefiting. The whole Imperial Army is stronger now.
Yes, it seems the Empire finally has both of its legs to stand on. Don't you agree?
You make it sound as though I can't run the Empire on my own. Perhaps it's more apt to say that the Pegasus has recovered its home.
Judith of Daphne. What a magnificent warrior. I'm happy to have the Professor back just like old times, but I don't think I'll ever get used to this cruel exchange of lives.
When there is something you must not be conceding, you must keep fighting. The fighting has been continuing for 5 years. But now I am again witnessing the Professor's power.
I hate fighting. But with the Professor here, maybe it's slightly less terrible? Oh, but everyone is working so hard. Stop it, Bernie. You can't be the only one complaining.
I'm glad to see everyone so inspired. It seems the reappearance of the Professor has done much to raise your morale.
Do you not feel the same, Hubert? Come now, be honest with yourself. Now, we must take advantage of the situation and blaze ahead. Our path is still a long one.
It's actually the shortest one.
Part 2. Crimson Flower. Guardian Moon. The Master Tactician. Having crushed the Alliance's army and captured the Great Bridge of Murden, the Imperial Army prepares to attack Deirdre, the Alliance's base of operations.
Professor, what is your opinion of Claude? I can't help but wonder what sort of impression he made on you. Interesting. I've never thought of him like that. However, I know you have a keen eye for...
I like the blue better.
After all, as leader of the Leicester Alliance, he has managed to protect his entire territory all this time. Since the beginning, territories within the Alliance have been split between those who support the Empire and those who oppose it. Claude has been acting as an intermediary between the two, essentially keeping the Alliance pacified. As both sides are of equal strength, he's created a situation in which they've all agreed to avoid fighting each other and causing undue bloodshed. By carrying on as though the Alliance is united, he's minimized the Empire's influence there.
It's quite impressive how well his bold scheme has worked out. However, he is walking on thin ice. One wrong move and the Alliance will shatter. Speaking of Claude, Your Majesty, we should not delay in our invasion of the Alliance. It would seem that Claude has some fresh scheme up his sleeve, to no one's surprise.
Is that so?
Yes. The people of Deirdre have suddenly found it difficult to leave or enter the city. We can safely assume he is
Really?
preparing for battle, but I am certain his
I guess
plans
at
are
that
set
point I didn't really care about the game, so I wasn't paying attention.
Do you not think we should take Deirdre at once?
Deirdre, the aquatic capital. A city floating on the ocean certainly poses a challenge. Since it's deep within Regan territory, we haven't had the opportunity to attack it directly. However, now that we have control of the Great Bridge of Murden, our situation has changed drastically. They can no longer expand their supply line into the Empire, and so we can finally attack Regan territory.
House Regan is not only Claude's house, but also the flagship of those who oppose the Empire within the Alliance. If House Regan falls, the other Alliance lords will be tripping over themselves to join us. That is why we cannot fail to take Deirdre. Confidence is one thing, Professor, but see to it that you do not underestimate Claude. The leader of the Alliance has had many things said about him. They say he is unbeatable in a battle of intellect. I hear they call him the Master Tactician.
Edelgard's Armored Lord dress looks like it has like a
Thank you.
heartless symbol as like the bottom clasp thing. Alright. Let me double check. Oh, let me check the bulletin board first. Another supply run for Airmid Pike and Wild Game, which we have. Fishing for the big one. Something is terrorizing the fish in the pond. Are there any fishing savants who want to help me investigate? Pirates in the North, another battle, a piece of history. Seeking a piece of history to start my collection. And Floral Tribute. Request flawless flowers of any size or type. No paralogs this month. Silver Lance Plus, I may as well get it. But I will be right back. So let's go ahead and get the tournament done.
What is it? I have no words for you. I have blades, and if you wish to cross them, I'll be more than happy to. Although you may not be. I was told not to, however. So I will hold off until the war ends.
Claude's earned himself a rather colorful nickname. He does whatever it takes to win. I like that. It will be especially satisfying to defeat him. I can't wait to see what his next move is.
Do you ever regret taking the path you did? Ah, the very model of a leader. I should take a page out of your book. Whatever path you choose going forward, I'll follow you without question.
To tell you the truth, I used to be a Knight of Seros. But at some point, I just couldn't follow the Archbishop anymore. I ran away in secret and decided to join the Imperial Army. When I found Alois here, it made me feel much better. It meant I'd made the right decision. Ever since that day you disappeared, the Archbishop has been completely different. She started laughing as if she was possessed and spouting complete gibberish.
We're gonna go up against Claude next? I haven't seen him in forever. Wonder how he's been. I chose this side because I believe in you, Professor. But it's not like I got anything against Claude. Of course! Claude was the kind of person who would be instantly friends with anyone. I don't mind so much that we gotta fight him. I just hope he doesn't get killed.
Professor!
Claude. Which one was he again? Oh, right. Yeah, of course I remember him. It's just, I can't picture his face. Don't remember what he looks like. I'm not sure if I ever knew. Oh well, he's just another enemy now, isn't he? What? Am I not supposed to say that?
Go ahead and do Ferdinand in the tournament.
A boon for our future. This is the cost of war. No time for pity. If I live, I fight. This is the cost of war.
Got a Silver Lance Plus. Not that I plan to be using it. Actually, yeah. Go ahead and take the, where'd it go? Ah, there it is. Take the Hexlock Shield. It's not heavy. There's also the Goddess Icon, which I want Petra to take. Yeah. And I'll just have to repair a Killing Edge Plus. I have a support with Ingrid available. Huh.
What the?
Wood Steel, Umbral Steel. Actually, I do want Wood Steel for Brave Weapons. Well, I can just buy Brave Weapons. Oh well. Silver Sword Plus? Nah. Agarthium, I might as well. It's a material.
Didn't they used to call Claude the Master Tactician? I want a nickname too. Maybe I'll get one if I can defeat him at Deirdre. I'll come up with a plan that'll beat his and earn a nickname for sure.
The one who defeated the Master Tactician.
I'm happy when we win battles, and I'm always relieved when our friends make it back safe. On the other hand, it's hard to watch the enemy die. Even worse when it's someone you know. Perhaps it would have been better if I just stayed with the opera. You're right, Professor. I'll never regret the choices I've made.
I mean, you
Now
just
have to
regret
lead
it.
us to victory, so everyone else can let go of their regrets too.
Deirdre, the aquatic capital. I've heard it's a magnificent city, you know? If we're going, I wish it wasn't to wage war. It'd be more fun to visit with a cute girl on my arm. Yeah? Maybe you and me? That'd be a good reason to survive the war.
I like how he's intimidated by that. based on the portrait.
Without the support of the pro-imperialist lords, the Alliance is greatly weakened. Even so, I don't feel great about all this. We're gonna be fighting Claude. Even so, we should stay alert. Claude won't be caught off guard. Neither should we. Even with you here, this battle will be very challenging.
Now that we've seized the Great Bridge of Myrden, House Gloucester is comfortable aligning itself with the Empire. The path to Regan lands lies straight before us. Our clash with Claude draws nearer by the moment. I certainly hope so. I would be quite disappointed if my greatest rival were to simply roll over. I know Claude better than anyone. He is a schemer. No doubt he has some trap for us in mind. Let us be vigilant, Professor.
It's like this. If you travel east from the Alliance and cross Fodlan's Throat, you enter the land of Almyra. House Goneril's territory touches the eastern border of the Alliance. They also have Lord Holst, the most valiant warrior in the Alliance. Tasked with keeping watch over the Almyrans' movements, he rarely leaves Goneril territory. I have been wondering something. If I had not been your student, where would I be right now? Who would I be? Do you ever think about that sort of thing, Professor? Ah, so you do think about such questions. You can never find answers, though, right? We cannot turn back time. So there is no way to go back and try a different path.
Oh my god, is that the framing for New Game Plus?
Right. A moment, please. Hey!
Now I think about it, I don't know of any games that actually frame their New Game Pluses in-universe. Let's do our note and conversation first. People used to believe the goddess once fell here from the Blue Sea Star, but according to astronomical research, the light from that star takes millions of years to reach us. Goddess works in mysterious ways? Okay. Edelgard, I should have noticed. Oh well. Should have been lies about the goddess abound.
But Claude refuses to surrender. I wonder why that could be. Frankly, it seems to me that his ideals are not that far removed from Edelgard's.
Technically, that's just a new game.
I suppose even the very powerful can be irrational at times. Hi there!
A new game with a tiny bit of memory.
It's strange to think I won't be receiving any more letters like this. Professor? Oh, I didn't see you standing there. My apologies. Oh, that paper. Well, Yes, it was. It was a letter from my father. I understand where you're coming from here, but I have no need of such things. It isn't like anything of importance was written on it. Curious? I suppose there's no harm in allowing you to read it. Go on then.
My dearest daughter, Ingrid, are you well? I trust that you are behaving yourself and refraining from causing trouble for others. Things on the home front are in order. A marriage proposal for you and the Viscount's son should be prepared soon. Although, I am quite certain there are many superior candidates at Garreg Mach Monastery. As you know, the very survival of our family is dependent upon whom you marry. You are the only one left in the family who can make things right. We are all counting on you. Do not lose sight of what truly matters.
Yes. This was the last letter I received before leaving the academy. I've told you that we've never been very well off financially. My noble family, House Galatea, branched off from House Daphne in the Alliance. Shortly after, we were lucky enough to receive the support of the royal family, allowing us to attain nobility, to some extent. But the territory we watch over is poor, its harvest meager, and our noble blood too has grown thin. Neither my father nor my brothers bear a crest. I, however, do bear a crest.
Like as soon as the time skip began.
Our family's one hope for the future. A crest is highly prized among nobles. Were I to marry into a greater noble family, that financial support could soothe our woes. Thank you, Professor. Your sentiment alone is a great comfort to me. Despite my own feelings,
I need to
understand why he said these things. It isn't that
oh crap. When does that rerun end? I need to hop in and max out the building, at least.
I understand it very, very well. Which is why I apologize, Professor. I must be going.
Let me double check. Yeah, I got Edelgard's B.
Right, right.
Okay, so I have plenty of time. I actually started toying with Dragon Ball Legends because they were doing like a big recruit a friend thing. And a friend of mine plays it, so I figured I'd give it a shot. I did not know that. Huh.
Oh, hello there, Professor. Did you need something from me? It doesn't look like you're wounded or anything. You just looking for someone to talk to? I thought so. Well, I'm here for you. Making you feel better is my top priority. Whether it's physical pain or worries of the heart, you can come to me for anything, Professor.
That is true. I did not need Hubert points because he is at A rank now. Also, hello, Joe. You got here, like, basically at the end, because I'm gonna go through this chapter's explored dialogue, get the quest, and then end off. Because Violet... the reason that I end streams when Violet needs to go to bed is because Violet, I'm acting as if she is essentially the requester for this playthrough, as well as the Shantae playthroughs.
I don't suppose they're going to stand by and watch while we attack Deirdre, though. That's why I've doubled our guard and instructed them to be extra vigilant. I will keep Garreg Mach safe. It is my duty and responsibility.
Big brother always gets so fired up. Better keep an eye on him. Oh, sorry. I was just talking to myself. I hear you're heading out to Deirdre. Good luck with the battle.
Right.
Hey.
I thought tomorrow was... No, the Pokemon one is Wednesday. No, I'm not. Well, maybe... I doubt I'll still be up.
You are a force to be reckoned with. You will not be forgotten. In another life, I might have fought by her side. It's a harsh truth, but it's the truth nonetheless. We can't change the past.
The Alliance troops were nothing to turn a nose up at. They were pretty strong, and brave, too. Our next target of attack is Deirdre, the Alliance base. Better stay sharp, even if we do have superior numbers.
I didn't play ARMS, so for me, the biggest news will be if they give, like, a rough time when we should expect news about the next fighter. I'm the reason Atlas gets away with announcements of announcements.
Professor. Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. Deirdre is known as the aquatic capital. It's a beautiful town with streets that seem to float on the water and an impressive harbor. In times of peace, it would be a wonderful place for a holiday. Anyway, best of luck in the next battle.
I thought I was ready for this. But it's not easy to fight against my old schoolmates. I was in the Golden Deer House, so I have a lot of memories with them. Really? It is? I wish that we could resolve this without violence. Then again, precisely because they're old friends, I wouldn't leave this to someone else. I have to assume responsibility.
Yep.
Claude, eh? He always was sharp among his peers. Never let himself get caught up in conventions. He wasn't typical in Fodlan. Then there's Rhea and King Dimitri. I'd stay on their good sides, for different reasons. Yeah, well, if that's the only way forward, it can't be helped.
Listen.
The Gloucester and Ordelia houses have territory in the southern regions of the Alliance. Everyone knows they support the Empire, so they won't get in the way of our armies.
Hi. 5 years ago, during the attack on this place,
Yep.
you allowed me to join your side. Since then, I've risen through the ranks. And now I'm a general leading my own army. In this invasion of the Alliance, I've been entrusted with maintaining the supply lines and keeping the Goneril territories under control. That's why I won't be accompanying you to Deirdre. Please look after Lady Edelgard.
Food has gotten scarce since the war started. Lately, the prices have really been going up. Normally, that would mean reducing our own take. But we just can't afford to do that. If we lose this war, we lose everything. Still, the townspeople are the ones who will suffer from this the most.
Everyone that could be recruited, I recruited.
The longer this goes on, the more people will starve.
Just gonna see how long it takes for you to notice the side effect of recruiting everyone that I could. Oh, I have Professor's Guidance Plus now. Unit deals 2 extra damage during combat, as well as a 20% XP boost. Huh.
Professor, I think you should be made aware of a certain group working with the Imperial Army. They are the same lot that invented a technique to turn monsters into war assets. It's quite obvious their trick draws on the power of the Crest Stones, but there is something more to it than that. Some secret I have yet to decipher. I suppose I need to better understand what kind of people they are. Who are they? What do they want? For her part, Miss Edelgard is cooperating, yet does not hide her hostility towards them. I suspect we should prepare, in case the day should come when we must combat these strange people.
Insofar as I know, attack once or twice to break a shield, which prevents them from... Yeah, they just straight up can't move if you break a shield. Break all the shields to get materials.
Deirdre, huh? I've always wanted to go there. In Fargus, most of the towns are pretty much glorified fortresses. So, to hear about a place called the Aquatic Capital, it just sounds so elegant. Let's go for a leisurely visit someday, promise? You know, after the war is over.
That reminds me. 5 years ago, most of the people involved with the church in the Empire moved to the Eastern Church in Alliance territory. I've been hearing rumors that the majority of those have now gone to the kingdom capital, Verdiad. The Eastern Church has no military force of its own, so they must be sensing that the Alliance is weak and fleeing.
Hello. A hungry hero is no better than a well-fed soldier. Do you know that saying? No? That's because I just made it up. If you're hungry, you're never going to be at full strength. Keep your belly full and stay strong.
Ah. I mean, I'm playing on normal casual, so it basically doesn't matter. And I also did the grinding, so it also doesn't matter.
I'm from Alliance lands, but I'm only a commoner. The idea of fighting Alliance nobles isn't exactly losing me any sleep. Fighting old friends, though? That's something else. No, I'd better clear my head. Captain Gerald used to say a mercenary has to be thoughtless. Guess I finally get what he meant.
I love you, random citizen. I still never have seen that movie.
I have learned much of the language of Fodlan, but speaking the Fodlan language still gives me difficulty. I can understand, read, and write with nearly perfection now. But understanding and speaking are fruits of a different color. I have gratitude for you, Professor. I hope that I will have fluency one day.
You heard me, bitch.
I never do get used to the sight of blood. It always makes me feel as if I might faint. I suppose I've told you that, though, Gas. I have no idea how you cope with it. I hope this war ends soon. I dislike being lightheaded because other people are bleeding everywhere. It's all a great deal of bother. But I will do my part, of course.
Flowers are so resilient, aren't they? Despite the war going on outside the monastery, here they are blooming beautifully. I hope we get to see more kinds of flowers when the weather warms up.
Premium magic herbs. Increase magic by 1. I mean, alright.
Do you have time for a request?
I will try to do this off screen, but if I run out of bait, whatever.
Battlefield, but rest assured that we're there in spirit. We're doing everything we can to support the army. So give it your all out there. Hey there.
Hey,
She idolizes Gerald to the extent that, you know, Gerald and daughter, who cares about the daughter?
Got a favor to ask.
I start a collection that chronicles the history of Fodlan, but I'm having trouble getting my hands on anything significant. Honestly, it might be easier to excavate an artifact rather than try to find one for sale. Oh, it's in the church.
Right. Hey there.
Like, Byleth does have a, reputation as, like, the Ashen Warrior or something, but...
I think this one, yes? I think this one, yes? I think this one, yes? I think... Return soon, please.
Can't believe I'm returning to fishing. Ah!
Hey, I could
Recently, pirates have been raiding coastal towns in the Sring region. People say they're attacking innocent civilians and sinking merchant ships. Think you can do something about that? I'm not doing it on screen, don't worry. Cornerstone fragment. A fragment of stone that has existed since the monastery's foundation. It shows the wear of time.
I wish we could settle all of this before the fighting begins, don't you? I wish it dearly, but few others feel that way. They fight in a bloody bout.
Stream the Final Fantasy 15 VR fishing
finally
game.
come to understand defeat. They refuse to admit when they're beaten, and they keep it up until they've been utterly defeated. Of course, I understand that sacrifice is inevitable, but if they're going to surrender after being defeated anyway, why raise a weapon in the first place?
Oh god, did they add in-depth fishing to the Link's Awakening remake? I never picked it up because full price for Link's Awakening is kind of too much. A T meme. Geralt.png.
So we've somehow managed to take the Great Bridge of Murden. That means House Gloucester should now be ready to join the fold more formally. We've blown a major hole in Claude's plan to preserve the Alliance. We should press on to Deirdre before he has the opportunity to adjust his strategy.
Supply run, which we definitely have done. And if it's not too much trouble, please find the most beautiful flowers you can. We require a large number of them, so do not be too selective about their size. Find some flowers and give them to Hubert as a gift. Okay.
I'll take it. Well done, Professor. Thank you.
Was that not enough? Oh.
So we've somehow met that. We should press.
Wait, what? Floral tribute. Find some flowers and give them to Hubert as a gift. There's a specific flower he wants? He specifically says not to be select. Oh.
Professor. In order to defeat a formidable foe, you must first learn who they are. How much do you know about the Alliance? The Leicester Alliance unites the feudal lords of that region. It holds regular roundtable conferences where they vote on their policies. However, only the 5 great lords are permitted to vote. Duke Goneril, Count Gloucester, Count Ordelia, Margrave Edmund, and their leader,
Margrave?
Duke Regan. Their titles were originally granted to them by the royal family of Farkas about 300 years ago. The Alliance was still part of the Holy Kingdom of Farkas, you see.
I was not expecting the load time here. Gladiolus. Heh. The flowers used as an offering for those who died in war. The flowers are colorful, but the leaves are sharp as blades. Gladio.
Oh, good. Thanks.
Ah, magnificent. Exactly what I was looking for. Clearly, I asked the right person for help.
So we've some. That means we should press.
Didn't you want me to do it as a gift? Oh, here it is.
I'll take it. Well done, Professor.
Lady Edelgard adorns the graves of the fallen with flowers after each and every battle. Thank you for ensuring that she does not have to do so alone. Morphous Magic Core. Alright, so last thing I want to do is basically make sure everyone has the best battalions they can command. So, Byleth. Endurance. Oh, authority. Index stored fighters, retribution. Allies can counterattack when they're attacked from outside their usual range for 5 turns. Huh. Let's go for the Black Eagle Heavy Axes. You have your personal company, you have your personal company. Oh yeah, you take the Victor Private Military. You want a ranged one. Take the Morphous Magic Core. You don't have this, so just take a D rank one. You two. Alright, I think the others are actually commanding the best the ones they can. Alright, so tomorrow probably we've got 2 quest battles that I'm probably just gonna auto through. Oh, it's effective damage that breaks it. Right, because I noticed the Monster Bane and stuff was breaking in one hit. Next time I will have done however much fishing it takes for the side quest. We'll do whatever support is available right now. And we will do the side battles and then just get to the end of the chapter. I have no idea how to spend this AP help. So with that being said, thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed. And I will see you probably tomorrow. Good night.